finally found something that can prove what I'm experiencing.
You need help. Adrian is dead.
I went to his house today.
He has figured out a way to be invisible.
Hey there, movie fans, it's your boy Peter Pablo, and today we're talking about The Invisible Man. Now first off, I want to acknowledge that what I do here is nowhere near as important as the current issues we're facing regarding public health and safety. But if you're in the mood to get your mind off all of this craziness that's happening out there right now, even for just a few minutes, then let's have a little bit of fun talking about this movie. Hang on a minute, what were we talking about again? The Invisible Man. It's directed by Leigh Whannell, who also directed 2018's Upgrade. You're probably wondering, where have I seen this guy from? He also starred as the cargo pilot in Aquaman and the guy handcuffed to a pipe in the first Saw movie. So the talented Elizabeth Moss plays a woman trying to get away from a toxic and abusive relationship. Except her possessive and controlling ex-boyfriend also happens to be a leading scientist in the field of optics. Combined with his ability to become invisible, he stalks and terrorizes her, and generally makes her life a living hell. Especially since the police don't even believe her story. Until she finally decides to take matters in her own hands.
You can see me! I can see you! Can you see me?
Once again, Blumhouse Productions gives us another excellent psychological horror. At first thought, I didn't think this movie would appeal to me. I seriously considered skipping this film until I heard all the positive buzz surrounding it. A 91% score on Rotten Tomatoes is not one to be ignored. With a budget of $7 million, this movie has so far earned $122 million worldwide. So it goes without saying that this film was successful both critically and financially. There really isn't much that I can say that's bad about this film. But throughout the movie, I thought I was picking up on more and more logic holes. But as the film progressed, most of my questions got answered. Except for a few logic holes regarding how the police would conduct their investigations using CCTV.
He's listening.
Just when I thought Hollywood has overplayed the Invisible Man story over the years, Blumhouse Productions and Leigh Whannell brings us a fresh new take on this horror classic.
I've mastered the ability of standing so incredibly still that I've become invisible to the eye.
Outside the sci-fi elements, there is some real-world narrative that can be found at its core. Not only does it add to the believability, but also to its relatability. Because some of us have experienced in different forms of toxic and abusive relationships. And Elizabeth Moss's performance drives this point home all the more. And on the topic of Elizabeth Moss, none of this could have worked without the conviction in her delivery.
Are you okay?
Someone's sitting in that chair.
And I can only imagine the lengths she went through just to research abusive relationships because this felt so real world. And to turn in a performance with such high level of excellence is really something to watch. And I have to talk about the camera work. Just from the opening shots alone, through the brilliant use of visual storytelling and hardly any dialogue, we learn so much about the hero and the villain of this story. We start off at his house with these giant windows overlooking the ocean and on the edge of a cliff. And I think this house represents some sort of metaphor regarding how our protagonist feels. The massive window speaks to her lack of privacy and the feeling that she's always being watched. And this house is out in the middle of nowhere, which really speaks to her feeling of isolation. Isolation. I guess we can all relate. They make really good use of tracking shots, especially when the camera decides to stay in the room and we're left there to stare at these empty spaces.
He was a sociopath, completely in control of everything.
It really draws you in and it invites you to take part as you're looking for this creep. I found myself looking for any clues such as movement on the carpet, beds, chairs, and couches being compressed by something with weight. While looking for these clues, you almost feel like you're going crazy alongside our protagonist. And this movie made excellent use of sound and silence.
But all I'm saying, they're gonna get a. I'm just. Knock. Who's there?
The use of sound and silence in this film was treated with the same respect and importance as the visuals. And this just adds to the atmosphere. Did I hear something? Did I just see something move? I haven't seen the use of silence done this well since A Quiet Place and Don't Breathe. And the scenes where people were fighting the Invisible Man were really impressive. Every time the Invisible Man interacted with objects or other people, it just looked real.
Surprise.
And all the jump scares in this movie was really well earned. But damn, can you imagine if you were invisible? I know if I was invisible, I'd go around stealing other people's toilet paper. Now before I share my final thoughts, just a quick reminder to click like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications to my weekly reviews. And if you like my content and you're feeling generous, become one of my valued subscribers by signing up to my Patreon. Check out the link in the description below. And now for my final thoughts. Starting with the lows, we've got a few logic holes. And as for the highs, we've got a captivating story, Elizabeth Moss's performance, amazing cinematography, and excellent use of sound.
There you are.
So overall, this is an excellent movie, which transcends the horror genre. It's engrossing and definitely leaves you thinking well after the movie's finished. Normally, this is the part where I would encourage you to head to your local theaters to watch this. But in the interest of your health, I suggest that you add this to your to-watch list once it's available on streaming platforms and Blu-ray in the future. Plus, so many theaters are closing anyway, so we don't really have a choice. If you're lucky enough to have seen this movie already, then get busy in the comment section below and share your thoughts. And let's not add to the craziness out there, because remember, we're all in this together. So let's all be smart and responsible, and let's treat each other with kindness and consideration. And if you like my video and you want to see more, then click right here, here, and here. And subscribe to my channel by smashing my face right here, as hard as you can. And who am I, you ask? I'm Adam Sandler. Bye for now. Look sexy. I like that.
Have you been drinking, Daddy?